But that is your audience prediction by TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get ready for game number 1 of the first match of the day, the opening match of the day. As we are going to get ready, I want to see everyone spam in the comment section or a fire or Dream Rebellion as we jump into the Land of Dawn. Through the portal we go. Fearless on the Killing Spree emblem on the Hayabusa. Yesterday we saw the High and Dry Arashi picked up by kids.
Right, so a different approach, and I think it makes sense depending on how you want to play it, right? The emblems really depend on how you want to play out the game and what exactly you're aiming for. So I guess for Fearless, that is the choice he goes with. We have to see if it is more effective. He will have, in a sense, a bit less strong of a 1v1, but if he is planning on playing with the team and relying on everyone else to just set up and you know, enable him. I think it's okay of a choice, as Fluffy already cuts the wave. He's attempting to go for that early roam.
Yeah, and on that note, on Fearless, he also will have the sustainability to, when it gets dragging, and if he's able to get those kills or even those assists, he will be able to sustain a bit longer than perhaps Aura Fire here, as High is on that High and Dry and the Fanny, so they're going to be looking for a lot of pickoffs on the board, and this is already hinting towards the kind of gameplay that both teams are going for, but here, Kai.
Oh, 1 HP, still able to pop that regeneration, getting out of harm's way, but Highs, oh my goodness, the pure aggression with the BMI under the turret, securing first blood and freezing the wave. In the mid lane as well, though, we do see that Suelo is able to flicker in, Facelinger taken down, Fearless on this Hayabusa, picking up a kill, and even in the bottom side, man, it's just trades across the board, and this is what we expected, that early game domination or the early game fights to secure the domination.
Now, Rebellion Zion is leading in that regard, but once again, I'd like to highlight the fact that, sure, it's great to get those pickoffs on the board, but what can you translate this onto? But now Fluffy here might be caught.
Oh, he does have the flicker here. Shadow kill pop, and there you go. He was saving the flicker just as he sees the shadow kill. He used it to get out, and here we do see a setup onto the turtle, as that's gonna be Suelo jumping into the back lines. Face Tiger has the black shoes, will pop it instantly. Go Diva with the shield, able to get out. Dyron doesn't have the I'm offended. Aura Fire disengages, and Rebellion take the victory in the early stage of the game.
Well, early on, Rebellion already playing it very, very well. They are able to control the game so far, and for the most part, even when Aura gets a trade on the bottom side, they're able to take out Highs once, but he's able to get a kill as well. So overall, Rebellion Zion is just doing really well in all aspects of the game right now.
Even on the bottom side, right? Like, well, Chai did actually get the steal on that gold buff, but Highs, with that kill lead, it's going to be pretty tough for Chai to actually look for those weakness points. Remember, if Claude brings sprint and he has full stacks, he moves faster than the one who's jumping around.
Yeah, that might actually make a huge difference later on, especially when everyone starts grouping together. But now already more context is High looks for something around the board. The thing is, with the fact that he has the High and Dry, he isn't able to particularly get any pickoffs on the board just yet.
High is very good at playing the early game as well, but with the Fanny, he hasn't been able to actually secure as many insane highlight moments as Kabuki. We've come to expect this, but you know, we have to see if that is okay, because Aura Fire, they want to get rolling early on as well. Late game, they do have 1-1 and Lilia, but the Fanny pick will drop in efficiency, so I think they are going to try their best to try and make that work, maybe in the mid game.
They might be looking for a dive here. Luminant Blast on towards Janarko, who is able to dash away, but look at the weakness points. Almost everything popped in. High gonna get caught in the circling eagle, though, as High gets taken down by Janarko. A very good knockout, and that's gonna be Fearless jumping in on the face hugger, forcing the black shoots to come out, and Rebellion winning out of the trades, even winning out of the setup as they push into mid lane.
I just don't feel that Fanny is one identity with High, but look at this. Fearless forced to use that shadow kill and actually gets taken down by Facehugger there.
Wow, both teams going really, really aggressive here. And so far, the lead is still on Rebellion Zion, but this game is shifting more towards a late game situation. And both teams in the late game, it becomes a matter of setup here. I think overall, though, Rebellion Zion has a bit more of an edge, so I think Aura Fire, they need to play the game with a bit more urgency.
High with a High and Dry. We need to see more from his Fanny right now, because as of right now, it is Rebellion controlling the game as Godiva goes in for the stun. Fluffy trying to look for the opportunity, go for the Jikundo. That's going to be the Retribution battle. High winning it out Dyron, though, doesn't want to stop at that. Goes in for I'm offended. Onto Godiva, the Circling Eagle as well. That's even the Cold Ulcer placed, and it will be dropped as Suelo loses all of that Cold Ulcer HP, but they win out in the team fight. And a neutral objective traded in for a kill.
Both teams need to try and get more pressure as far as the turrets are concerned, because with that aggressive playstyle, with them all just ganking and skirmishing like this, the team with less turrets will have less control and less ground to try and make plays with. So if they can actually make a play towards one of the lanes, maybe orchestrate a dive and take out one of these turrets, that's going to be very, very useful in setting up the momentum towards that mid-game 8-minute, 10-minute mark.
Yeah, so far we're gonna see that both teams are battling it out, but once again, that bottom side, like you mentioned, Arashi, I think Aura Fire, they're looking for something here. They're looking for an objective, but so far, Rebellion Zion has denied it on all fronts.
Right now, High is just finding it very difficult to try and find reliable targets here. The only real member he has threat against is maybe Highs with some setup, with a stun perhaps from Godiva. Everyone else, they're just a bit too tanky, or they have some outplay available, a CC, a dash, and that is making it very difficult for him to play. And we already mentioned, it doesn't seem like this hero really suits his playstyle, and with a killing spree, I think he needs to go a bit more proactively, but Rebellion Zion, they're playing it really well, and they're making it very difficult by how they're maneuvering and by their draft in the first place.
And even here, it does feel like, Aura Fire, they're making the proactive movements on the map, but they're not really able to push on the pace. Even Fluffy in that XP lane hasn't really been able to do anything, as in the mid lane, he does go for the clear. He is going to be chunked low. Both teams already rotating to the bottom side. High, he's got to be careful, using the BMI to get out of the weakness point range, as Godiva comes in to the sun for Wijanarko. But both teams, again, disengaging, and Aura Fire look for the turtle. This is very uncharacteristic of Aura. They usually go for the fight just all around, but here, they're playing it a little bit more objectively. Let's see, with no Chiat, it's going to be tough for the side of Aura Fire. Rebellion 4v4 right now. Top side getting pushed in. High going to go in for the Retribution. His Fearless comes in, but the way the Dragon brings him out, and the Numenon Blast connects as well. But perfectly timed Cold Ulcer by Suelo, getting him out of harm's way. High jumping in on Suelo with the cables, almost taking him down. Suelo taken low, but High, unable to finish him off, will just back off with that Retribution on the turtle. Basically going to take it low on by the Shadow Kill as the I'm Offended comes in, bringing Godiva back, but the shield is buying, soaking in so much damage. In the end, though, it's Suelo picking up the kill, and they convert on the mid lane objective.
They also have the top lane tower as well, so Rebellion Zion, they're winning in terms of those towers, but Aura Fire was able to take 2 versus 1 turtle so far. But look at this, once again, Aura Fire, they're trying to deny something here, but Rebellion Zion, once again, still being able to be as aggressive as they want to be.
There's a lot more tools, a lot more dashes. They have Fearless, who is able to be a lot more efficient, a lot more dynamic than High on the Fanny. And they also have the Matilda, which allows them to play a lot more aggressively because there is a plan B. There is a backup escape plan as Kai here gets chunked very, very low, and he's not backing away.
Oh, that's too much damage to handle. The flicker by Suelo to finish the kill off with Wijanarko. Jumping with the Circling Eagle. Suelo popping the Cold Ultra, but Blazing Duet popped here, zoning High away. Numenon Blast was used, but Rebellion, man, the way they disengage, this is a clean game by Rebellion.
Yeah, they're repairing what they missed yesterday and in their previous matches as well. But now, for the side of Aura Fire, the one thing that I wanted to talk about was High. He won Best Jungler last season, and the only thing that I felt was lacking towards him was the fact that he's not as good on the assassins. But this time around, this season, he's proved to us that he's able to take these assassins into the jungle position, but not in the way that we expect, let's say, Albert to use the assassin. He doesn't go in for those kills. He's still the utility. He still is true to his identity. So this time around, on the Fanny, it's not working as well, especially with the emblem that he's opted to use. And it feels like it's backfiring on Aura Fire because they're relying heavily on the pickup potential that the Fanny can have. But so far, because of the CC that Rebellion Zion is also able to have in their arsenal, but wait a minute.
Oh, Fluffy gonna get caught in the I'm Offended, goes in for the backlines, but High jumps in with the Blazing Duet onto Chiat. He's gonna get the kill there, and the Cold Ulcer was placed onto him, so he's safe. High trying to go for the re-engage, but that is the cable management onto Suelo with the call. Oh my god! With the cutthroat, wasn't really able to get the damage done. Wijanarko jumping with the Circling Eagle as the Shadow Kill comes through as well. Fearless still getting out, and Highs on the Claude. Standout performance right now.
It's not working for them. It's not working for them. The fact that they were forcing Godiva on a hero that he's not comfortable with, and now Hai was also experimenting. It's very difficult to see Aura Fire actually find something. Rebellion Zion now have the upper hand in this next neutral objective, and we'll see what Aura Fire has to say about it.
Oh, Hai jumping in, getting caught by the Lord knockup. They go for the Lord here. Retribution battle. It's actually going to be Aura Fire who steals it out, but look at the damage coming through. 2 people taken down already. Giant has a crossbow tang. We'll pop it onto Ouija Narco, and it's translated over to Dyron, but Dyron's still able to survive for now. Hai's backing off 2 for 2 in the team fight, but Rebellion come out on top. No, Aura come out on top with the Lord.
Good feed for Kite as well. He's able to get a few more kills on the board and additional to those items. But look at this. Hai is dealing a lot of damage. Godiva might be taken down, but luckily for them, not just yet, as the Lord is on the way and they need all the men advantage they can have.
Wow, that was very, very close there. The retribution from Fearless was just slightly a bit off, and Hai was able to secure the Lord in that very chaotic fight. So they come out on top on that because of that. And now how they use the Lord will determine how much value they can get. The issue so far is because they usually have a very solid engage tool with Godiva, but when he's on this Lolita, we've seen this again and again. It's just not as proactive or as aggressive as Godiva usually wants to go. So Numenon Blast, as well as the other stuns, Rebellion Zion has found it very easy to just dodge away from it and kite back away because they have Matilda. They have a lot more utility when it comes to mobility. And of course, the Cult Altar is just throwing a wrench in any kind of team fight combo play, as actually Hai gets taken out by Suelo.
That's a very good take. It's very tough here for the side of Aura Fire to really go for any more turrets because they focused all their resources up top and they left that bottom side to be split pushed in by Fearless. And now this actually creates a space for Rebellion to get that goal lead back, already building back up to a 2.4 thousand goal lead, Eterna.
I love this. I love what's going on right now. We thought that Aura Fire had it with all the history and the statistics that we had, but as you can see here, Rebellion Zion are the ones controlling with a 3,000 gold lead. Now, in terms of item, any disparity between the two?
There's quite a few disparities, and I think you have to highlight, of course, that Hai has the power spike already with the Demon Hunter Sword and the Golden Staff, and any kind of pickoff attempt coming in will be denied by the Wind of Nature, unless Facehugger is the one that makes that play. And on the Lilia, you can't really be picky with who you throw your spells onto, so he is pretty much set in these big team fights, and Fearless, he's just so much far ahead. He has an endless battle as well, so a lot more burst damage, and he's been putting it to great use if you compare it to Hai, who has the Haptoses, but he's been unable to actually get any pickoffs. He has the anti-Q for that mid-game to late game, so he won't be as squishy, but overall, the Aura Fire, they seem to be lacking a bit of damage here. They're unable to secure the kills, and it's not just the damage, it's because of the Blazing Duet from Hais.
Oh, Blazing Duet there. Tide still having the Wind of Nature, getting Hais there, punishing him, but that's going to be the Cold Altar pop. Fluffy looking for G Kundo onto Dyron. Will time it properly here onto Dyron, but it's not connects, and it actually cancels away the Numenon Blast. Hai jumps in onto Fearless, but a Shadow Kill is still there. He goes in onto 4 members, able to dash out with the helmet of the Quad Shadow, but he actually is back there, and he is going to get taken down. Godiva with the stun, and the damage coming through from Giant as he jumps into that back line. Suelo taken low. Fluffy gonna be able to help him to get the shutdown. Achilles be picked up. Giant with a crossbow tang, picking up a double kill, and she's looking for more onto Dyron. Dyron's very, very low, still able to dash away. Giant looking for the chase. Hai coming in to save the day as well, and Dyron falls. It's a 3-for-1.
Wow, 3-4-1 trade as of right now. Suelo trying to do what he can, but unfortunately with the disadvantage, he's not going to be able to amount to much. And this is interesting because now Aura Fire have actually been able to equalize on that gold economy and even take it a little bit further than Rebellion Zion. 2 moments was all it took, but look at this. Suelo also gets taken down right before this Lord.
Rebellion Zion, they cannot play alone like that. They do their best work when they're as a team. When they're 1-by-1, that allows Aura Fire to get the picks that they desperately wanted since the early game. And early in that fight, I think the issue was the Cult Altar was popped quite late, and Hais got taken out. Here's a replay by the Samsung Galaxy A series. This is later on in that fight already, as the fight continues here, and Suelo, despite the best attempts to actually do enough damage, a lot of the members from Aura are able to survive, and of course, Kite is full HP and just hitting away at their members. Hais, again, was taken out early on in that fight, and that cannot happen for Rebellion Zion.
I mean, so far, we see a 1v1 situation here on the bottom side. Let's see how this actually pans out, Mirko.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about this. Fearless doesn't have the shadow kill. Jumps in with the quad shadow, almost getting it. High gets a solo kill. There was no help from Facehugger. Even though he put the Angry Blooms, no damage was placed just yet. So 1v1 High scraping that victory.
Fearless here goes for the BOD as well. It's an absolutely solid burst damage build, and going up against a 1-1, right? You do want to get the damage out as fast as possible. So he has a lot of threat right now, but Aura are playing with the Lord, and Fearless won't be up for another 16 seconds.
No, they don't have the mid lane push. They are going to go for the 5-man up top with Fluffy clearing out the mid lane. Now, top side base turret taken down. Rebellion do not have Fearless. 3 seconds, they will have him for a big team fight. Will Aura Fire still be in the vicinity to look for a fight, though? It doesn't seem like they do want to go for this, but Godiva gets pulled twice by the I'm Offended and by the Shadow Stampede. Aura Fire finally disengaging, knowing that they got what the Lord was worth with that topside base turret.
Aura Fire now, interestingly enough, 3,000 gold lead. So they've taken the momentum back into their hands and actually now denying these buffs away from Rebellion. But it does seem like there was and wanted to be a contest by the side of Rebellion side, and Aura High here playing a very risky game there in that jungle.
Wait, Arashi, is he building tank? Why is the Spanish so tanky?
He has an anti-Cuirass at this point. I didn't see if he's built any additional tanking items right now, but it makes sense, right? He has the core damage items that allows him to burst down the, the core members like Highs or Fearless, and then he just transitions into this fighter build where he can be tanky enough that he won't be bursted down instantly, and he can be just a complete nuisance with his mobility. It makes a lot of sense, and it's working out so far.
Oh, it seems like Aura Fire, they might be setting up for something right now. And when you were talking about damage, I felt like Rebellion Zion was lacking damage. It does seem like they were opting for a double support meta, but look at the sandwich come to play.
Fluffy with the predictions, with the Jikundo flicker onto the last quad shadow. But I'm Offended, connecting onto 3 members. The Blazing Duet dealing so much damage onto the front liners, and Giant taking low. Now it's going to be Highs who gets silenced in. With an nature pop, but Swaylo picks up the kill. Now it's going to be High jumping into the Highs, has the immortality there, but will be popped in that fight. Godiva trying to disengage. It's 2 for 1 for Aura Fire, but Tyrant goes again for I'm Offended, getting the immortality of Godiva, and Facehugger falls as well. Godiva's gonna fall, and even the High, his recall was cancelled away by Region Narco. They're gonna go for a few more kills. Fluffy getting out, but the immortality there was popped in by Swaylo's first ability. They're looking for the kill. Godiva with the shield coming in as the way the dragon comes through. Fluffy trying to run, gets slain. They might even go for one more, but they disengage. A 3 for 2 in the fight.
Man, just when you thought that Aura Fire had the upper hand, it's Rebellion Zion being able to put up a fight, and even with the favorable trade, now they are able to convert this onto an objective in that mid side. But look at this, High gets caught with that I'm Offended by Tyrant.
His cable management isn't nearly as good as Kabuki, but he is making it work somehow. He is a complete nuisance, but Rebellion Zion, if they ignore him long enough, since he's not building full tank, they can afford to just let him spin around for a bit as long as they get the pickoffs onto Kite or Facehugger. That will allow them to out-DPS the rest of Aura Fire, and that is the problem right now. Aura Fire, they can't be picky with who they choose, and Rebellion Zion in this late game can group up together, and they have no issues with the Cult Altar.
Oh, this is the Evolved Lord. I'm Offended again, and that's going to be the damage. Blazing Duet combo with a 2-man, 3-man, 4-man Numenor Blast, actually, by Godiva. It seals the deal. Again, resetting the Lord, that was the play they need. Fluffy goes in for the Way the Dragon, but it's suddenly cancelled out by Dyron. Both teams still playing around the Lord as Godiva jumps in with a stun. High still able to get out with a BMI, but I'm Offended connecting again. Fearless jumping with a quad shadow. High wants to go for the Retribution, 9,000 HP on the Lord, but High does not want to give it a chance. He goes for Fearless, he takes the Retribution, and they go on to Dyron. This is Aura Fire coming in and looking for that comeback play. Dyron losing a crossbow tag, giving it over to Chide to translate it over to Region Arco. Highs with a Blazing Duet, trying to save the game, but look at High in the back line. He has the immortality. He goes for it right here as actually Godiva stunning Highs up. They look for the base, and it's going to be game 1 secured by Aura Fire.
What initially felt like a very equal game between Rebellion as well as Aura Fire ended up Aura Fire winning it out. And I gotta say, that last team fight was a huge